Hey guys, welcome to exercise 9-2. In this video, we're going to be looking at how to draw ceiling plans and how to select through various type of ceilings. So let's go ahead and get started. Last time we left off finishing off the floors. You're going to go ahead and go back to the project browser. And in this time, instead of opening up your floor plans, you want to look at your ceiling plans. We're going to go to the second floor ceiling plans. And if your ceiling plan is not there, you're going to go under the View tab, go under Create, Panel, and you're going to go under Plan Views and select Reflector Ceiling Plan. Now, if you already have a reflector ceiling plan for that particular level, that will not show up on this list. For example, second floor is not here. So second floor is showing up here. It's not going to show up here. If you need a second floor plan, again, you can right-click and make a duplicate copy. And for this particular reason, we will be needing the basement plan, and we will be creating that later. So let's go ahead and press OK. We have a bottom of footing plans already open. We can go ahead and delete this. Again, any view you delete goes back and can be recreated under View tab. So let's go to the second floor plan. So under this second floor ceiling plan, I want you to become aware that your view range under your properties work different. Under view range, you're going to select edit and notice how your cut plane is at 7 foot 6 inches. If you had windows that were tall or you had 8-foot door, you might want to cut that 7 foot 6 to be about 8 foot 6 instead. So you're cutting above the door, so you see nothing but walls. And your view depth is now in the opposite direction, so you're looking straight towards the roof. So press OK. So if I am on the second floor, this is my roof. Those are my skylights here. That's the ridge in the middle of the roof. That's the side gable roof ends. And those are the walls inside. And that is a small arch that we created a while back. And let's go ahead and start our ceilings. So under the Architectural tab, you're going to go under the Build panel, select Ceiling, and we're going to be selecting out of these 4 types of ceilings, we're going to select 2x4 ACT. This is Acoustical Ceiling Tile System. You're going to go up here under Properties. You're going to set the height offset level to 8'4". I think by default is going to be 8 feet. 8'4" would allow you to have about 6.5 inches above the ceiling to the bottom of the rafters for recessed lighting or any wiring requirements. You should be able to select the entire floor plan, and you have a ceiling extending all the way across. You're going to go ahead and go under the Modify panel, hit Escape, and you have your ceiling placed here. Now, these walls, if they were attached to top base, indicating the top base here, and let's go ahead and delete our ceiling. Now, if I go ahead and repeat that command under the Build panel and select Ceiling, I should only be able to select one of the either 2 sides. Why is that? Because this wall now connects all the way to the roof. Since we do not have that issue, we can span the ceiling all the way across, and it does not need to be room bound. If it was needed to be room bound, these 2 walls will act as a way to divide the ceiling grid. Now, once you have a ceiling plane that is created, in the instance parameter, this could be changed per room. So you can go ahead and make the ceiling height be different in, let's say, an office space versus a living room if you choose to do so. Let's go ahead and try to make this ceiling be room bound to just the office. So let's go ahead and delete this ceiling plane. And what you want to do is you want to take these 2 walls and you want to attach it to top base, specifying that it connects all the way to the roof. Once this is connected, you can simply shift these walls around. And I think it is 9'5" from right here, or 9'4". It's perfectly fine. You have a 9'6" office. Let's go ahead and go under the Architectural tab, Build panel, Ceiling. And under Ceiling, we're going to go ahead and specify 2'4" for our acoustical ceiling panel, and 8 foot 4 inches as our height offset, and I can specify that ceiling to be placed here. Next, we're going to go ahead and, as I stated before, you're going to go under the View tab, and under the Create View Panels, Plan Views, and you're going to create a reflected ceiling plan for the basement. Go ahead and press OK, and now you have a reflected ceiling plan for the basement. Once you end up in the basement floor plan, you will realize that the floor plan does not read like it's supposed to. So you're going to go under the Properties, under View Range, you're going to select Edit, and you're going to offset the cut plane to be 6 foot 6 inches. Hit Apply, and you should be able to see the bottom. This is the bottom of the garage, looking at the foundation from the bottom up. And this is where you have your actual basement plan. You're going to select Apply and press OK. Next, we're going to go ahead and go under the Architectural tab, go under Build Panel, select Ceiling, and 2 by 4 foot acoustical ceiling system. And we're going to go ahead and set the height to be 7 feet. And we're going to specify that to be here. Now, in order for us to bound the ceiling to be just in this plane, we're going to go ahead and sketch our ceiling. We're going to go under sketch ceiling mode, and we're going to be locked out just like we would be in a roof plan. Let's check. Next, with the ceiling grid selected, you're going to rotate it 30 degrees. Now I want to show you and demonstrate this. If I select the ceiling itself and go ahead and rotate, notice what happens to the ceiling. It will completely cut out of plane and it will be jutting into other rooms. What you want to do instead is select one of the ceiling grid's lines, and that's what's going to be used as reference to rotate. So when you rotate this about 30 degrees, so we can specify that, or I can just get it close to 30 degrees. The ceiling grid itself will change to 30 degrees. Next, we're going to be looking at a gypboard wall ceiling system. So what you're going to do is you're going to go under Manage, and under Settings panel, you're going to look at Materials. Once you select Materials, you can type in gypsum board wall, gyp wallboard, and you can look at the patterns that are found here. And we're going to go ahead and select gypsum board plaster. You're going to select OK, and that's what's going to be represented as the foreground, and what's going to be looked at when it comes to a cut pattern. That's what it's going to look at. You're going to hit Apply and press OK. So now anytime we have a gypsum board ceiling, that's how it's going to be represented. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to go under the Architectural tab, Build Panel, and you're going to go under Ceilings, and you're going to select your gypsum board wall. Once you have that wall selected, you're going to click Edit Type. You're going to edit its structure, and you're going to add 2 additional layers. So you're going to select here, and you're going to select Insert. Now for your structure, you want your first metal stud. So let's go ahead and select that from our browser. We're going to have a metal stud layer. Press OK. And this metal stud layer is going to be 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. The other metal stud is going to be 3/4 of an inch. Now what's going on is you have metal studs running in opposite direction. One is providing structural, while the other one happens to be supporting the ceiling, the same way our acoustical ceiling panel is being held up. And your gypsum wall boards remain at 1/2 inch because it's suspended. You can find gypsum wallboard that's attached directly to the stud, but in this particular case, we're building this house almost like a commercial building, so we're actually adding a furring layer. So you're going to go ahead and press OK. And in this particular case, since we are using this gypsum wallboard on metal stud throughout the entire project, if you happen to be in a different project, you want to duplicate this particular family first, so you can modify and create a new. Go ahead and press OK. Go ahead and set the ceiling height 7 foot height. And next we're going to select this room. Since we're unable to select this room, you're going to go Sketch Ceiling, and we're going to use the rectangle command this time to sketch a ceiling inside this room. Once you have this drawn, you're going to hit check, and you have a 7-foot high ceiling at this particular location. Next, to support the ceiling at this particular location, we're going to draw a bulkhead. What that is a wall that starts 7 feet off as an offset, and it connects to the next level, and is where the ceiling can die. So we're going to go under the architectural tab. We're going to select wall, and you're going to select 4.5-inch partition. And in this case, your base offset is going to be 7 feet. That's where our ceiling will start. And you want the height or the top constraints to go up to the level of first floor. Next, you're going to go ahead and place a ceiling in this location. You're going to go under the architectural tab. You're going to select build panel, ceiling. And since our ceiling is going to remain the same in this area, we're going to sketch ceiling again. Once you're completed with the ceiling, you're going to hit the check mark. Now, right about here, the book states that we're going to go ahead and change the height of this ceiling to go up to 7 foot 2 inches for offset, and it's not a big deal. Again, if you want to be able to select the ceiling just by simply hovering over it, you want to go under the modify arrow. Under there, you're going to hit select, and you want to be able to select elements by face. Therefore, whenever you're hovering over a ceiling or a floor, you're able to select it. Next, we're going to go ahead and modify a floor system to include the ceiling. So what you want to do is open up the second floor plan, not the ceiling plan. And once you're under the second floor, we're going to select the floor for the second floor, select edit type, and under edit structure, you're going to go ahead and add an additional layer to the interior side. So we're going to go ahead and insert a new layer. So if our oak flooring is up here, our last finish is down there, and we're going to select a finish. Since this is the only finish, we're going to select finish 1, and we're going to set that to be wallboard. You're going to press OK, and you're going to set the height or the thickness for it to be 1/2 inch. Press OK again. And in this time, if you look at the preview, you have added an additional gypsum board wall layer, or just, I always say gypsum board wall, but it's gyp ceiling layer. And this will allow you to have a ceiling being drawn directly from the floor. You're going to go ahead and press OK, and thereby you have created the ceiling for the first floor plan. Next, we're going to go ahead and go back to the project browser, and we're going to go under our second floor ceiling plan. And we're going to duplicate our ceilings all across here for the gypsum wallboard. The only acoustical ceiling that we will have is in the office. And let's go ahead and drop our ceiling in. Go under the architectural tab, ceiling, and you're going to go ahead and add that at the height of 8'4". And you're going to go ahead and apply that everywhere. I wanted to point out that notice how the ceiling, which is a 3D object, covers the roof ridgeline and the skylight. This is a very powerful aspect of Revit, that you're able to see whether a ductwork or a skylight system works or does not work. It allows you to validate your design solution. With that said, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Follow for more content.